What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I feel like I've been gone from YouTube for so long that I may have to reintroduce myself. Or, if this is your first time here, thank you. I appreciate you coming through and watching. If you don't know, my name is Tyler, and I run a few small social media accounts under the name of Mixed Up with TGM. Mixed Up with TGM, we do reviews, we work with brands, we create cocktail menus, we create cocktails, and most of all, we just have fun. In addition, I have a private event bartending company that goes by the name of TGM Bartending. This behind me is my bar. And I have a minimal cover charge to get into that bar. And that cover charge is simple. I just want you to recommend my channels to your friends. But I only want you to recommend it if you like me and only if you had some fun here. Now that we got back through who I am and where I'm at and what I do, let's get into what we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight, I want to talk about a whiskey whose catchphrase is tasteful, smooth, and unapologetically strong, just like you. That's what it says. That's the catchphrase. I don't know. I don't make it up. It's a whiskey whose name could be considered offensive to some and maybe a great marketing tactic to others. The whiskey I'm going to be reviewing tonight is called Toxic Masculinity. Toxic Masculinity is a straight bourbon whiskey, but they also have a rye, which I think would be amazing if I get my hands on, but I can't. So let's just talk about this straight whiskey. To be honest with you, I couldn't find much information on Toxic Masculinity brand. I am basing this review and the information I have only on what I found and what I know. So here it is. Toxic Masculinity. It's an MGP whiskey. It's distilled in Indiana and it's bottled in Iowa. That's about all the information I have on it. So, with that information behind us, let's get into the whiskey itself. This is a non-biased review, even though I was sent this bottle to review. Now, it took me a couple tastes before I could actually get to this review because I wanted to give it a thorough and honest review. Each time I tried Toxic Masculinity, I would try it a different way. The first time I popped the cork and poured a shot into my Glencairn, took a sniff and gave it a taste. Second time, I let it sit for a minute to open up in my Glencairn, took a sniff, then gave it a taste. The third time, I popped the cork, let it sit, took a sniff, gave it the old swirl swish in my mouth to see if I could pull out some more flavors or some different flavors. So this review that you're going to get tonight is going to be based on the fourth tasting, which is basically something new as well as the other three. So enough about the whiskey and what we're going to be doing. Let's jump behind the bar and get into the review. See you in a minute. We got the Toxic Masculinity straight bourbon whiskey batch 1. Comes in at 43.8%, which is 87.6 proof. The mash bill on it, 85% corn, 14% rye, 1% barley. All right, what do we got on the nose? Something that's been real common with all the tastings is I've always had the very strong herbal, like sarsaparilla kind of earthy root beer nose on it. Vanilla, like vanilla extractish, if you want to use extractish as a word. And the vanilla extract is something that I've just recently gotten on the nose of this. Give it the old swirl. I still get a lot of the same earthiness, a lot of the same herbal sarsaparilla. All right, let's see what we get. See if we get anything different on the palate. Same. I still get the same palate. Right up front, it's a mouthful of like spicy, I think of it as like sweet corn, like spicy street corn. Like the elote guy. I don't know if you guys got that guy cruising around with a little cart and the corn in it. Like I get a lot of the spicy, like if he was to take the chili powder and put it on the corn with the butter, that's what I'm getting on the nose. Very corn forward, which makes sense considering that 85% of the mash bill is corn. It finishes strong with that same spice, but lighter on the corn, if that makes sense. It's got a heavy spice, light on the corn, and that spice hangs around for a second, but it almost fades into like an oakiness, like a smoky, oaky char. So it's like, it finishes, and on your palate, you're left with a little bit of a spice that just kind of lingers, not as heavy as it was on the front, and like a smoky taste. It's not a bad finish. It's not a bad drink all the way through. If I was to say anything about this, is it really does remind me of a standard MGP. Like a standard MGP that I don't know, something I'm going to keep on the shelf. It's not going to go to waste. It's fall season. It's going to start getting cooler. Winter's going to come around, so I'm going to be drinking this bottle. The front of it says it's unapologetically strong. I wouldn't consider it like unapologetically strong. I don't know, just on first sip. Definitely not bad. Definitely worth the purchase. This review probably hasn't changed much from the first time. So if I was to do a review based off my first sip and based off this sip, they'd be very, very similar. I like the artwork on the front, the little guy riding the little, you know, big wheel bicycle. So it's not going to go to waste. I don't think you'll be upset by it, but, you know, pass it around, take it to a party. It could definitely a talking piece, because the words toxic masculinity seem to be a little bit controversial. So cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you supporting the Mixed Up with TGM channels and accounts. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.